Hey, hey, everybody. It's Colleen with Artwork by Colleen, and we're going to do Hey, Hey today. Here's the colors that we're going to use for him. It's pretty basic and easy. I started with the comb, putting those pieces together because it's a solid piece that'll give us a good foundation to do the rest of it with, so that we have some good solid colors and a piece to hold on to. You can see that his comb goes up and down because it's got little points to it. So I'm doing just one slice at a time. If you notice when I'm doing that, you'll see that there's his eyebrow there, and I make sure that I leave that little eyebrow line open because I want to make sure that I put the black clay along there to accentuate the eyebrow before I finish filling in the red that's next to his eye. Literally, if you've seen my work before, you've seen it's just a fill in the blank. I try to taper it when I need to make the proper lines. Here you can see I just put in some black along the edges just to finish it, just to give them definition of the little crowns of the comb. Unfortunately, I silly worked out of the camera there for a minute, but you can see I'm just pushing the black in just to give it some definition because I want the combs to be very defined. Moving on, I've also put the black where the eyebrows are because you can see, as I was talking about, I didn't go all the way down with the eyebrows. Now we're just finishing the rest of the comb. It's a pretty easy process to do. It's just, it takes time. And the previous cane that I made, that I did the tutorial on for y'all, was of Pua I, and I decided to do a full length one. So for those of you who want to see it in a little bit slower mode, you can go to the Pua tutorial and you can see how it's done literally step by step. Now, one of the reasons I put the black on there and I'm putting this purple in there, you can see, is because I wanted to keep the points of the comb from squishing in onto themselves. Right now I'm working on the eye. His eye was black, and then it had a little dot of white, and then it had some I chose to do like a golden brown. That purple that I have around his comb is literally just scrap clay that I used. I cut that part out because it was really even more boring than the rest of it. But there's his eye. You can see that the white of his eye is in there. What I do is I circle it with a little piece of white after I make the eye, and then that way I can fill it in as need be. And the whole thing is covered around. One eye is way bigger than the other because that's the way he is, because Hey Hey's a little wackadoodle. And then I am going to cover the rest of the eye with the black. Now that we have the first eye complete, now we're going to do the big eye. So again, I had wrapped it with the white after finishing up the inside of the eye. That way it's a little easier. This one's a bigger eye because, he's Hey Hey. And it's just a matter of filling in the blank. And then once I get all the little end pieces and little spots here and there to even it out, then part of that's got the black already. And then now I'm just going to put the black around the rest of him so that we see his whole eye. There we go. And now he has two little eyes. Here I'm working on his little beak. In comparison to the rest of him, this beak is, fairly small, but I'm going ahead and filling in that little spot, and then I'm going to cover it with a little piece of black clay. Obviously it's clay. Anyway, the next I'm going to do is his little wattle that's there, and I'm just going to stick that in there because it's not very big, but it's enough where that it'll just take a couple of pieces of the red, push it together to make the entire wattle and to make it show up. And there we've got it hanging down. And then there's another little piece right there that's in addition to that goes underneath the beak to finish out his little wattle correctly. Now I'm going to work on the little, I don't know, we're going to call them bags under his eyes. I don't know, whatever they're called. So I'm doing them in purple because even though the picture looks like it's brown, it didn't seem like that was the right color. So lo and behold, I went online and apparently my printer printed it out a different color than it actually is supposed to be. So that's why I'm sticking with the purple, because if you look at pictures of Hei hei, that's what he looks like. You're welcome to use a little bit of artistic, you know, whatever, and change it if you want. But I kind of wanted to stick with what Hei hei is supposed to look like. So there we go. Now he's got his eyes. We covered that with black, so that's kind of all sealed up. And now we're going to do a piece of his neck. So I decided not to go quite as long as that neck piece is. And in order to get the little, I don't know, to give it a little bit of definition on the ends, I went and covered the yellow pieces with the black so that I could kind of overlap them a little bit. And there you can see it kind of gives it a little bit more definition. And then you can see I'm just going around and doing it the same way on the other side. There I'm just filling in a piece because just to thicken it out. I made it shorter because plenty of times when you reduce it, if you have like a big long skinny piece like that, it tends to really distort the cane. Here the cane is done and it's all in the scrap clay. It's pink and purple scrap clay. That fun fact that no one really cares to know about, but I had what was left over from making a figment cane. So there you have that. I save all my scraps because this is a perfect opportunity to use the scrap leftovers and it's less waste. Plus, I used to use all translucent and it gets really expensive like that. So we're about to do the moment of truth of cutting it up, see how it comes out, and here we go. Oh, he comes pretty cute. I squished him a little bit to shape him up. I'm really happy with the results. And remember, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day.